Hello everyone. So in this video, I'll be trying to break my own record of 50 puzzles. So in the survival mode, I made a record of 50 puzzles, which I'm still unable to crack myself. So yesterday I failed, but today I'm gonna try and make this happen. So let's go. Yeah, that's what he plays. So there is a very easy checkmate. That's a backhand checkmate. Generally, these are like very easy double rook checkmate. Okay, that's what he does. And just a second. Now, as you can see, the knight controls a lot of squares. So all you have to do is give a bishop check, and that's all. Alright, so these are the initial puzzles. I'll just be, you know, uh, going through them quickly, very quickly. And once the complicated ones come, then I'm going to show you some, I'm going to explain you how this is done. So this knight is hanging. We're just going to pick it up and that's that. Easy. Alright, so white is threatening a mate over here. Let's take this. That's a mate. How to solve this now? There is, you can see already some of our pieces are already coordinating on h7. So how do we do it? Well, we throw in a bishop check. If king goes over here, then we have a knight check. So let's do it. Bishop check. If king h8, then knight f7 is a yeah. If king h8 was played, then knight into f7 was a mate. But now, as he's taken with the knight, we just pick it up, and that's it. All right, these are like easy puzzles. And now I can see that this knight is actually defending this bishop. So if we can capture the knight, we'll get the bishop. So that's how it's done. So we pick up the knight, and now we take the bishop. That was easy. Okay, not a problem. So this we have to be careful. Okay, it's easy peasy. This square is attacked by both the knight and the queen. So let's go for this. Let's play queen takes pawn followed by checkmate. This was easy as well. Many of these puzzles are easy. Okay, now I have some interesting solution. First of all, as you can see, our knight is really attacked by the queen, and we need to, I mean, our queen is attacked by the knight. Yeah, and we need to escape, right? So the way to do it is attraction. We need to sacrifice a rook. That's kind of a magnetic sacrifice. You draw the king away, and finally you get your queen out. Yep, lady saved. That's what you do now. He takes our knight. What do we do? Well, we can capture it back. Yeah, we can always capture it back. Is there something better that I'm looking for? I'm looking for something better, in this position. Takes, in case there is something better. I mean, I'll just take right now. But then bishop takes here and pawn takes, and then okay. I think it's playable because after takes, the thing is we are attacking his bishop as well. All right, that's what he does. This looks easy because you throw in a check followed by queen g3 checkmate. That was easy. Let's solve the next puzzle now. Okay, this is interesting. Obviously, we can give double attack if you want. It's very simple. You just take this with the bishop, and if pawn takes, then you go knight takes, and that's a double attack. I think that should work. Or in other case, there's something more interesting. Knight takes is more interesting, which I really like. Just knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, the queen is attacked, queen moves away, and perhaps okay, but queen d2, there is queen d2 and queen g6, then queen g5 happens. So in general, I suppose bishop takes is the correct solution. That's what I suppose. So let's go with bishop takes. Oh, that was wrong. Okay. Anyway, the piece is free, so let's pick it up. So I've already done one wrong, which means I've got only one chance. Yep, that's free. And now king takes. We got basically two pieces in return for one. That's what he does. There's a problem with this. We can pick up the rook in the corner. After exchanging queens, we capture on a3. I mean the knight on a3 after. Yep, here we capture this. Good. Yeah. The thing is, I've made an early mistake. I've made one puzzle wrong, which gives me lesser amount of chance. Now, how do we play? Well, there is a fork, right? Knight f7 is a fork. So how do we make that fork effective? We take the rook. After king takes is knight f7, and we pick up the rook. That was easy. So the queen takes the pawn. Okay, how do we continue this? Let's see. There are some interesting ones. Like rook f1 is the first move that I consider in this position. Yeah, rook f1 looks quite strong actually. If he takes, I mean, basically we're threatening to capture the knight, which is pinned. and that looks very effective to my eyes. So let's go rook f1. Yep, that worked. This one, how do we solve this? Oh, easy. We just give a rook check and pick up the other rook. Oh, if I take, he's gonna take. Okay, just a second. If I take, he's gonna take, and there is a queen on f6. I need to gain as much material as possible. So I'll give a check with the rook. That was easy. Excuse me. Yeah, so how do we solve this one? Yeah, I think I got it. Well, we want to invade on this squares, right? We want to invade on the squares. So the way to do it is start with queen e5 and after f6 we go queen e6. So this is how it's done. Queen e5, f6, queen e6, and we then invade with queen f7, threatening bishop f7. Easy. This is what he has played now. This is interesting. I'm gonna take, check. Okay. Knight takes f3 looks to me as very effective because if the pawn takes, we just take the queen and takes, and then bishop takes f3, and then we pick up the rook. That's what I see, but takes. No, this is not working. So knight takes f3 should be the move, according to me. Yep, and then picking up the queen. And after the bishop takes f3 should do the job as we are capturing the rook next. How to solve this one? Well, we've got a rook, right? This is a mating tour, I mean. Just rook h6 followed by rook h1 is a mate. You're combining the rook and queen. Why to play this position? Well, I've got passed pawns which are difficult to push. My best chance lies in pushing my pawns with h6, g7. So h6 here, here. We're gonna push. Yes, that comes with a check. So I'll push it. I'll play h6 first. This is what it does. But wait a minute. Now I can't. Why can't I just play h7? But h7 there is bishop d4, right? And that's not working. So the correct solution here is to go g7. This is the correct move. And after he takes, we push forward, make a queen, and the girl should help us to win the game. What is this now? You can see there are some issues with this position. The queen is very badly placed. So I'm thinking of rook b3, rook a1. That should win. Yeah. And rook a1, the queen is trapped. And we win the queen. Okay. How to solve this one? I like this one actually. So you can take that, takes, and then take the rook. Or you can start with capturing the rook. Which one do we choose? Very interesting, yeah. If you take the rook, you can also go queen c7. So let me see. Yeah, this is very interesting. If queen takes e5, then rook takes d1 can happen. That's my case. I mean, then I have a check now. So takes. Okay, but queen takes e5 if I go first. And after f takes, even if I play rook into d8, he's not going to capture that piece, obviously. So I have to start with basically rook takes d8. There is a fork, I mean, let me show you. Here. And now we take the rook, who is defending the e6 square, and after nobody is defending the e6 square now, so we are going to play knight e6, and that was the whole point of the puzzle. All right, so what did he do? He took a knight. Let's have some revenge, buddy. He took a knight, our knight. Okay, I can take his knight followed by picking up the rook, which looks very obvious to me. So I'm going to take it with the bishop. Something I'm missing. Nope, it's correct. Yeah, that's what he does. Now I'm thinking of taking here followed by bishop takes. Yeah, we are just winning too many pieces over there. The bishop goes back, and how do we win this one? Okay. Takes f3. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Just capture on g2. Bishop takes, and now f3. If the queen takes, then we just capture back. I think that should work, no? What's the issue? Yeah, it should work. Bishop takes g2 followed by f3. It worked. Yeah. So white captured a pawn. He's thinking of playing queen h7 and queen h8. Maybe. Maybe. So how do we play this? Well, his queen is hanging. If we ever wish, we can pick it up. Or we have another option. We can take the rook on d6, but then check here g7. Um, I mean, okay. Okay. If we take on d6 with a rook, then queen h7, queen f7 is mate. That's impossible. I'm not gonna play that. Not going to fall for that. I think just capturing the queen is interesting. In that case, yes, he gets my rook. Uh, but I have a mate on h2. Oh, such a simple point. Let's take the queen. I am white here, throwing a back rank check, followed by check here, check, mate. I saw the mate. Did you see it, guys? It starts with a check, followed by sorry, a6 and rook. Oh, okay. If king would have advanced, then just rook check. That would have given a mate. And now, yeah, pick it up. Winning, easy peasy. This was easy peasy. We have solved 27 puzzles, and now we have to complete our task of solving 51 puzzles. Because my record is of 50 puzzles. That's how I break it. So he took a pawn. Yeah. How dare you take my pawn? Basically, we are gonna trap his queen, and how does this go? Well, rook at 7 looks to me very logical because I don't see any squares for the queen until I'm missing something which I'm not. Yep, queen is gone. Farewell, farewell, farewell. How do we win this one? It's so black to play. What is his plan? He wants to go king h6, king g7, and then go for my pawns. Yeah. If I can take his pawn, then king h6 takes and goes here, and king here. Oh, this defense. So I'll just take his pawn. Yep, and pick this up. Followed by king takes d5, king e6, defending my own pawn, and I have got a passer on d and the d5. What is this? He's attacking my queen. Okay, I'm not scared of that. Okay, what if I take? Interesting is queen d4. This is what I'm thinking because the rook is not supported. You know, when I look at a position, what do I see? I see basically pieces that are not supported. So rook on e5 is the first thing that comes to my eyes because that's not supported. That's how I solve the puzzles. And the f6 square is basically, I mean, uh, out of his reach because my knight is controlling that. So I think, according to me, I think the solution has to be queen d4. If it's not rook into d5, which I don't think so. So just queen d4 takes the rook. Hey, wait a minute. I can't take the rook. Buddy, I can't take the rook. Okay, but knight c5 is there, right? Because, okay, the reason I can't take the rook because of this pin. I'm going to show you this pin. Yep, that's the pin. And if I take the queen, I'm not winning any material. So the way to do it is with knight c5, followed by then taking the rook. Let's play that. So he's attacking my bishop, which is least important for me. No, I mean, it's important, but I have some interesting ideas here. I can pick up his bishop, which when I'll be able to attack his rook, and I'm also threatening queen f6, or just moving my bishop. You know, simple moving a bishop. So I think I'll take. Looks good to me. He throws in a check. Okay, I'm just gonna move my king because at the end I have his rook. Yes, thank you for the rook. I think there has to be, yeah, a winning attack after that. Check here, and what do we do next? I have to give him a mate. Okay, if I just take that, takes, yep, takes, queen takes, takes, queen takes, check here. No, that's the issue, right? So if I could check here, takes, I solve this one. Very interesting one. I think I'll easily solve this one. First things first. His rook is hanging. I mean, that's the first thing I see. So I can always pick up his rook. But do I have something more effective than that? That's what I'm looking at, you know. So maybe I can take his bishop and then rook takes f8, king takes f8, queen has to move, queen f1, then there's queen h2. And if queen moves somewhere else, let's say queen c4, and then I throw in a check, goes here and check. Should be a mate. So the correct move, according to me, is just to take the bishop, followed by, okay, the queen is hanging. Wow. Should I? Or is there something better? No, I'll take it. King takes. Forced. How do you solve this one? How do you solve this one? Let's look at pieces which are hanging. The queen hangs, and the king is very weak, and we have got some very active rooks here. We have to use them basically. The question is just how, you know. How is the question? Throws in a check, goes over here, check. One takes, check. I got a mate. Did you see it, guys? There's a very nice checkmate here. I really like this one. So check, it starts with queen check. And now you're going to sacrifice the rook. It's very beautiful. Rook takes on d6, the king cannot take, and pawn takes, then we have queen b7. Beautiful, it's gorgeous. Alright, so he pushed forward with b4. Again, it's all about the king, it's all about his king. What comes to my mind is very simple move like, I mean, just knight to e5, opening up my bishop. But the thing is, it does not come with a. I'm speaking South Indian accent. It doesn't come with a um, forced tempo or anything like that, you know. I think 95 still should work. Am I missing something? I think 95 should work. Pardon me. So 95, I'll go 95. Daring to take the risk, and he plays this. I'm not impressed. I'm gonna take on f3 followed by bishop takes f3. Should we play or should we take this piece? No, I'll take it here. Followed by bishop takes. Because the pawn on g2 is pinned, he cannot capture back. This is what we have now. If I take, he's gonna capture my rook, obviously, and I'm gonna take his rook, and I just win a piece there. No, what's the problem? But, if I take, he's gonna capture with the rook, and after he captures with the rook, do I have anything better? That's the question. Yeah, and that's the reason it's tricky. But okay, I have knight c3, which is very strong. It's this strong. Knight c3 capture the rook, capture on d1, capture on b2, winning too much of pieces. Should win the game. So knight c3. Clever move, clever move. He goes back. Well, in that case, should I wait just a second? Ah, this comes with a check. All right, should work. How do we solve this one? Again, we look for weak pieces. Weak, and the diagonal is what I see. It's pardon me for that. The diagonal for I mean the e1 h1 h4 diagonal is the one I see weak. You know, it's super weak. So the way I think is to go queen e5 followed by queen g3, and somehow it should work. I also have knight takes e4, but then he takes with a knight, and then queen h4, knight f2, and that is the problem. So queen e5, knight b3 goes over there. That's a check, and then f1 not possible. Goes over here, throws in a check, comes over here. Then the problem is I cannot see anything after that. So should I go? Should I go for a queen e5 or just knight e4? Yeah, knight e4 is not the move. So I can tell you that queen e5 is the best move, at least which I can see, which is correct. He throws in a check. I can throw. I can play for c6 or bishop d7 as well. But c6 we are attacking his bishop, right? Yeah. So we are attacking so many pieces that he just resigns. Castles. Okay, what does white play? What does white play? What is he threatening? That's important. Now, is he threatening something concrete or we can just continue with our attack? The thing is, I don't think he's threatening anything concrete. I can throw in a check, he can move in. No such continuation. So it's better to capture on f7 and then double attack the, the rooks. Why not? Is that the best? Because there is queen f3 and what? How is it going to turn out? Takes queen f3. I'm gonna take his rook. Or there is also queen e6. No? To that I have queen e6. Very interesting. I want to be careful here. I don't want to hurry up and make any mistake because there is also rook c1, which is very interesting to me because king b8 there is knight c6 check and king moves and then you're gonna take on d8, which is very interesting and perhaps much stronger. So rook c1, is that a move? Should we go for it? Yep. Knight f7 or rook c1. I'm gonna take the challenge and play rook c1 because uh, capturing the rook on d8 instantly is much better because that also I'm doing it with threats. So yes, it's correct. Knight c6 and thank you for the queen. Very impressed with that. Okay, how do we solve this one? I think we can solve it in a very forcing manner. Just rook check takes queen h5 followed by g6. Uh, yeah, it should work. because g6 first it looks boring. So just rook h8, but if he comes here, then queen h5. Yes, that's winning. So am I going to sacrifice? Just a second. There's something very interesting. Rook check takes queen h5, king g8, g6, and it's important that it doesn't have knight f6 and knight f8. Knight f8 it doesn't have, of course, because of the rook. And knight f6 I'm going to pick it up. And after pawn takes, there is still a mate. Bishop takes, rook takes. Rook takes is interesting. Check here, check. Mate. It's mate basically. It's a forced mate. So here, followed by the queen entering the game, and g6 strangling the king. Okay, he just gives up a knight, and check followed by mate next move. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna basically we have solved 38 puzzles. Our target is to complete, I mean, break our record with 51. My record is 51. So he played king over here, and this is basically white to play and win. So your thing is we need to give checkmate to his king without letting him escape. I saw one checkmate. What about this one? Basically, there is so much of calculation involved, and the thing is, he's already threatening. I mean, he's already threatening mate over here. So all the moves that we are going to have are basically going to be, checkmates and stuff like that. So bishop f8 is what I'm looking at. I think this is quite an effective move to start with. Bishop f8. Let's calculate that. Bishop f8. If he goes to h7, then it's check here. And that's the trick, right? Because it's kind of not making sense to me. Let me calculate. This needs concrete calculation. And someone is playing songs. I can hear them, but those are Hindi songs, in my native languages. This is tricky. I can also throw in a check at first move, which is interesting, but I don't think it's gonna work. 8 minute. Uh, rook check. Okay, bishop check. What about king f6? Then rook check, and yeah, I think bishop f8 should work. So let's go with bishop f8. Yes, that is the correct move. Correct first move. Now what? Check, check here. Rook f7 is something interesting. Should we try that? Here, I mean, at least we've got a draw. And that's the thing. At least we've got a draw. So just rook check, and now a bishop check is the only option again. The thing is, he's threatening a mate over here, so we have to do something immediately, and that's the reason. What I feel is just bishop check. Yeah, it worked. See, it worked. Process of elimination. We just went for process of elimination. All right. Look for loose pieces. Rook on a3 is loose somewhat. So let's see how to solve this puzzle. Check. If we get a king closer, then what did he do? He just took it. King c4 is what I'm thinking of. King c4, then rook d7 comes with a checkmate. The thing is, he can capture this, and a check is made. So I think king f5, not king c4, king f5. Pardon me for that. Yeah, and we take it, followed by checkmate over. So basically, we made a mating net around his king. Weaved a mating net like a spider. How to solve this one? Let's think. The move I like here is simple knight d2. I mean, that's my first guess because after rook takes, we're just picking up on e1 and then on d2, and we are attacking the queen by playing knight d2. But it has more threats, right? It's just not one. And what are the other threats? That's the question. I can take play f3, and does it take us anywhere? I don't think so. Because knight d2, queen f2, yes, queen f2. Other squares, I don't think. I mean, you can go to queen d3 as well. I have to think, right? Yes, of course. Well, Knight g5 is another candidate move which comes to mind. Very strong. And if queen f2, then we can capture followed by throwing a check. Very, very, very interesting. It's so interesting. I'm going to go for knight g5. Let's go for knight g5. I haven't actually thought about the entire solution, but that's the feeling I get with knight g5. And I can definitely be wrong. Yeah, I mean, that was the correct first move. How do you play this now? If I can. Oh, it's so simple. Okay, who's defending queen? The pawn on h3. What if we take the pawn? Well, we can take with the queen. Am I wrong? Let me think. I can take, push forward. Yeah, this takes, queen takes. Yeah, I mean, because what I was thinking was knight takes h3. If h takes, then there is rook g6. But knight takes h3, there is queen takes as well, right? In that case, I might not be doing so well. So I'm thinking of capturing, and after takes, then there's f3. And if he captures back, big f3 because the threat is to play f2, and if he takes, then knight takes f3, and that's f4. So let's go. It works. It works. Yep, it worked. Okay, this is what he does. I can throw in a check. Yeah, obviously. What's the follow up? The important thing is I saw the first move, but what's the follow up? Rook h8 looks like the first move. Another interesting idea I have here is just queen g2, queen h3. This idea. It's just an idea, but that's how I think in this kind of positions. Also, just rook check followed by queen h2. Looks interesting. Yeah, so let's go for this. So, rook check followed by switching the queen to the uh, h file. Is there something better? I'm just checking for something better if there is something. I mean, okay, I find something like if I take the rook, then if king takes, then I'm gonna throw in a check. But even here, I can check him. He moves. I can take. And if you're going to an ending, this is like equalish. I don't see any advantage for white in this particular position. So probably not taking on e7 because yeah, I don't see any advantage. Even if check happens. So queen h2 is the best move, I think. Yeah. So till now we are correct. The thing is now there are too many weaknesses. The g6 queen is a little bit weak, so we can just enter the position with queen h6, and that should do. So should we just get in? Yep. Now we are going to invade his position. Let's take the pawn. Queen f5 is threatened, and it worked. Okay, first move I saw again. Just capturing here. But what's the follow up? Important is to find the follow up. Um, because I don't see the follow up after king h1. Just takes, check. Because my rooks are not in the game. Rook a5 something interesting. Trying to bring the rook that way. Not gonna work so easily. Where is the solution of this one? Uh, I need more pieces in the attack because this is just not enough. One idea is I can capture on f2 and king h1. I can shift. I mean try to bring my bishop out with this and this. But the problem is he's actually threatening checks, a lot of checks. So what do I do here? I do feel like this is the first move, so let's go. Yes, and now we come to the main point. Let's go. I have two ideas here. Basically, just rook f6, trying to stop the draw, which is playable. Another one is bishop d7, which is my idea. But bishop d7, queen h6, king g8, queen g6 with a draw, which I don't like. We are not here to make draws. Draws. Where is the solution, buddy? Where is the solution? Queen h4, very interesting move. What does it do? Queen h4 is interesting because rook f2 is threatened. So maybe I should go for that, but should I? Should I? Should I? Because Queen h4 gives me time. Bishop d7 thing is again he's threatening so many checks and that's a draw. Uh, yes, I'll go for Queen h4 then because I don't see anything better. Yes, I'm correct. So you just it's like a hit and run. You just attack and then you come back. So I can capture the piece on g4. He can take my bishop. What's the continuation? Nothingness. So I'm thinking of, as he's not threatening anything concrete at the moment. I mean, there is obviously Queen h4, but that is going to happen next move, and we might have a lot of time for that. So what I'm thinking of is just take the pawn, take the rook. Taking the rook is a little bit, dubious, but I'll take this. I'll take this. Now, should I take the rook or not? That's the big question. Uh, I have two options here basically. I can take the bishop followed by capturing the knight, in which case I get more, and I can take the rook as well. But then he takes, and after I take on g4, he captures my rook. So I'll take the bishop followed by taking this rook. I mean, you get more. You get more basically here. That's what he's doing. He's threatening some things. He's attacking our bishop. Bishop over here and rook over here. He's basically made a double attack. Now I have something as well. Uh, I can go queen f3, which is a very interesting move. If it takes the bishop, I take his rook, winning. So dubious, no? Everything is losing here. I mean, every piece is hanging here. Queen f3 takes, and how many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So queen f3 is what I'll go with. Although there are other moves which might gain more, but I like queen f3. Yes, it worked. We have to take the knight or the rook. I'll take the rook. I'm more greedy. So what do we do? That's a check. We have only two options: king f8, followed or just rook takes g6. Rook takes g6. The problem is he takes the knight. A knight f8 can happen. Yeah. Let's think. King f8 also possible, but he just takes our piece, right? And there is nothing else. So I'll take it. I'll take it. That's the bait. I'm gonna pick it up. And now we have options. Knight f is one move. King f7 is another move. King f7, there is knight f4 perhaps. Very strong. But what I like is knight f8 followed by bishop g4. This followed by bishop g4 traps the queen. Does it? Yes, it does. It does. So bishop g4. He takes it, and knight takes. We are enjoying some material. 45 puzzles solved. Oh, I didn't see that. 45 puzzles have been solved. We are just very very close to breaking my record. Of 50 puzzles. So how do we solve this one? I'm feeling confident now. Okay, I can take. Where's the follow up? I need a follow up. Basically looking for loose pieces. The rook is loose, doesn't have support, and that's what we are going to make use of. So I attack his rook. He moves, followed by capturing on d2 and capturing on b2. Very interesting stuff. I should try for sure. Yeah, he moves his rook. Now the move I'm looking at is just takes, followed by takes, and then bishop b2 is there. Yes, looks good to me. If I play bishop b2 first with the rook, yeah, this should work. Let's go. Oh, it was wrong. Oh God, it's wrong. We are very close. If I make one more mistake, I'll be out and I won't be able to break my record. Now, this is very close. Okay, he's threatening to capture my pawn. Yeah, he's threatening to attack this pawn. How do we play this? I think what I like here is to play rook e8 followed by rook h8 checkmate. And how can you stop it? I don't see any way. I mean, there are ways, but then he might be having some problems. Another move is just, rook e7. He takes. Not interesting. Queen g4, not interesting. There is a weak piece over here. Is there a way we can attack it? I don't want to make one more mistake. So I think I'll just go rook e8. Rook e8. Sometimes you see moves at the last moment. Is there something else? Nope. Oh, wait. Yeah. I need to be careful here. I have two options because queen h8 is also there. So let me calculate. I need to have follow-ups. Follow-ups are super important. Rook h8 looks like the move for me because we are winning the queen. Queen h8 check here. You can also go here. No, that's not comfortable. I'll just go rook h8. Looks good to me. Yes, followed by queen g4. Yes, and rook h6. Is that the best? Yep. 46. Guys, 46. We are very close to breaking. We just need five more correct solutions. So this is what he plays. He plays e2 and he's threatening to promote. And I am white here. I am white. What do I do? His king is in a kind of mating net. So I need to be clever here. Super clever. So much of quietness. Wow. Oh, yeah, this is like, it's not easy. I mean, I at least saw one solution, just rook g7, king h4. Then we have nothing. We have nothing over there. Also, rook g7, king can run out. And that might be a problem, right? Because he either need to stop his pawn or something like that. We need to do something as such. h3, we can try h3, but if king f5. King f5 is a constant problem which I'm facing. Just f3 I cannot play. It's pinned. Okay. I need to somehow trick him. Just h3. If king takes h3, then rook check. Rook e3 check. King moves. And is there something which I'm missing? Oh, if h3 king takes h3, knight f4 and I pick up the pawn. And in other cases, if h3 king f5, then do I have bishop d4? Yes, and after knight d4, bishop takes d4. And now do I have rook e7? But there is bishop e5. That's so close. I'm so close, but that's not happening. So h3 king f5. Now what do we do? And that's the main problem we are facing here. h3 king f4 is also something that I haven't seen. So what if we just play king g2 here and he pushes forward? Okay, I cannot give up at this moment. I'm very close to breaking my own record, and obviously it's going to be difficult. That's how it is. That's how it is. I can't give up now. Yeah, the thing is, I can't really play f3, which is a good move. So basically, in this position, I can't play rook d1. I cannot bring my king. I have to try to throw in some checks. So there are basically how many? One, two, three checks. Three checks. H3, uh, rook on g7, check. But that I'm confused about because of king h4, and also there is king f5. So maybe we'll just rule it out. Just eliminate that possibility. Perhaps, yeah. Other things. What are other things here? Oh, wait a minute. Ah, come on. I just found something interesting. I found rook d4 takes and h3 or h3 first. and followed by rook d4. But rook d4 check takes h3, king goes here. Come on, I'm so close. I was so close. I thought I found it. You know, sacrificing the rook is what I thought was the correct solution here. Rook d4, if he takes, then just h3. How bad. I'm so sad here. We take maybe here, here, here. Uh, how do I do stop the phone? Or do I just allow it, just knight takes c5, allow the queen, go to g2, and after that there are no, there are no checks, at least temporarily. And yeah, if he takes the pawn on a5, where is my continuation? Is there something concrete that we can play and win? Then maybe that's the solution, just pushing forward with king g2. That can be the solution. If there is nothing else, that's what I mean. So either two moves now. Either knight takes c5 or king g2. It's taking too long, I know, but this is important, of course. King g2, he pushes forward. Check here. Throwing a check. Nothing happens. Here, 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 here. So I do feel like knight takes c5 should be the solution. That looks like the best move because we have also got something more. Oh, I couldn't break my record. I was so close, so close. At least I'm going to try to find the solution. Why exactly is this wrong? I came so close to breaking my record. It was 51 puzzles. I mean, 50 puzzles. So, what is missing? What did I miss? What's the solution here? Look at this slow motion. It's like teasing me. h3. And how is it going to work? Because obviously, king takes h3, there is knight f4. But what about king f5? Yeah. And now? Oh, did I miss? I just thought that I missed rook d5, but it's not. I definitely didn't. Check. All right, makes sense. That has to be taken. And I calculated this, of course. Rook e7, there is bishop e5. Oh, f4, king f2. I missed it. I missed it. There's you take the bishop. I mean, rook e7, bishop e5. You take the rook, take the bishop. King takes f4, king takes f4, king f2, and you take the pawn on e5, e2. This is miss. I missed this. Such nice, simple calculation. So yeah, here we have f4, and our king comes closer, and this is it. That was. I mean, I calculated this, but I just partially calculated the solution. I didn't consider f4 and sacrificing my rook over there. Oh god, that was so close. But I was unable to find it. So to be honest, I didn't deserve to break my record at the moment. I'm gonna try more and try to break it next time. So yeah, see you later. Bye guys.